So you get home, your partner asks, "How was your day, honey?" And you say, "Fine," while your brain is literally screaming with unprocessed emotions. Look, research shows that we naturally share 80 to 95% of our emotional experiences. But when we don't, your brain gets stuck in a processing loop it can't complete alone. So today we're uncovering why your brain desperately needs you to tell someone about your day. I'll show you the emotional backlog that builds when you don't share, what happens in your brain when you finally tell someone, and there's this crucial difference between telling a human and writing in a journal that nobody talks about. Plus, I'll give you the exact 3-minute technique that actually works. Let's dive in. Last week, this guy in my program goes, "Gregory, I haven't really talked to anyone about my day in months. Just come home, eat, sleep, repeat. Is that bad?" So yes, it is bad, really bad. See, your brain treats unexpressed experiences like undigested food. They just sit there, fermenting, creating mental inflammation. But here's the thing, there's a biological reason you need to tell someone about your day. So here's what's happening in your brain when you don't share your daily experiences. Bernard Rimet from the University of Louvain has been studying this since 1991. He calls it social sharing of emotions. His research shows that 80 to 95% of emotional experiences get shared with others. Think of your unshared experiences like having 47 browser tabs open. Each one is using resources, right? And each one is slowing down the system. And your brain can't close these tabs on its own. Now, when you don't share these experiences, they sit in what researchers call your working memory, right? Your brain keeps processing them, trying to make sense of them, but it can't complete the process alone. I mean, you're trying to sleep at 2 a.m. and suddenly you're having the argument you should have had at lunch, right? Your brain is trying to process, but it needs something more. See, Rimet found that emotional experiences trigger an almost automatic need to share. It's not a choice, it's compulsion. The more intense the emotion, the more we need to share it. And when we don't, well, those emotions keep reactivating. They keep demanding attention. But now, come home and stare at screens. How was your day? Fine. And your brain is like, wait, what's that? We're not processing any of this? Now, when you actually tell someone about your day, something fascinating happens in your brain. Now, in 2007, Matthew Lieberman at UCLA published research showing that putting feelings into words, what he calls affect labeling, that actually changes your brain activity. See, when you verbalize your emotions, activity in your amygdala, the emotional center, well, it decreases. At the same time, your right ventrolateral prefrontal cortex lights up. And that's your rational processing center. Lieberman found that simply labeling emotions reduces amygdala response by up to 50%. Think about it. When you say, "My boss frustrated me today," your brain goes, "Oh, that's what that feeling was. Frustration. Got it. Filed." Without naming it, that feeling just bounces around, causing havoc. And there's more. When someone listens to you, really listens, your brain releases oxytocin. That's a bonding hormone, but it's also a stress reducer. It literally counteracts the cortisol from your stressful day. So you're not just venting, you're performing biological maintenance. You're literally detoxifying your brain. But wait, can't you just write like a journal? Look, journaling is good. UCLA research from 2017 on expressing writing shows it helps. But here's what it doesn't do. It doesn't activate your mirror neuron system. When you tell another person about your day, their brain literally mirrors your experience. They feel a fraction of what you felt. And here's the crazy part. When they validate your experiences, when they go, "Oh man, that sucks," or "Wow, that's amazing," well, your brain recalibrates. Bernard Rimet's research shows that we specifically seek close people, family, spouse, best friends, to share with. Why? Well, because their validation helps us process the emotion completely. But there's something else. When you share daily experiences regularly with someone, your brain starts processing events actually differently during the day. You start thinking, "Hey, I can't wait to tell them about this." And that shift, well, that changes everything. Instead of being stuck in the experience, you're observing it. You're already creating the story. You're already processing it. It's like your brain knows help is coming. Now, who you tell matters. A lot, actually. And this might surprise you. So here's what most people get wrong. They think they need to tell everything to everyone. That's actually exhausting for you and for them. Research from the University of Arizona in 2020 suggests you need what's called a designated listener, someone who expects to hear about your day. It could be your partner, your best friend, your mom, it doesn't matter who. What matters is the routine. And here's a technique that works, the highlight and struggle method. Share one highlight, something good, no matter how small, then share one struggle, and that's it. Takes 3 minutes. See, your brain needs both. The highlight activates reward circuits and reinforces positive experiences. The struggle part gets processed and validated. Together, they give your brain the full picture of your day. But here's what's crucial. The person doesn't need to fix anything. They just need to listen and acknowledge. That sounds tough. It's better than 20 minutes of advice. Your brain doesn't need solutions. It needs witnessing. And if you live alone or you're isolated, voice messages work. Seriously, send a 3-minute voice message to a friend about your day. The act of speaking it out loud to someone, even asynchronously, well, that activates the same neural pathways. Research from 2019 even suggests that talking to pets help. Not as much as humans, of course, but it's something. Your dog doesn't judge your presentation skills. Your cat doesn't care that you stuttered. But your brain gets to process. So I'm curious, when was the last time you actually told someone about your day? Not just fine or busy, but really shared what happened. Drop a comment below and tell me, who do you talk to or what's stopping you? I read every single one, and it helps me understand what you're struggling with. Now, if you want to dive deeper into the neuroscience of emotional processing and connection, this is exactly what we explore at the Brain Academy, at brainacademy.com. Brain out.
Sharpen your mind.